Joe Vicario has always been a sports fanatic, but it wasn't until he watched the RIT men's hockey team reach the Frozen Four in 2010 that he knew he wanted to be a Tiger.
The Cinderella story of the tournament so far, the Rochester Institute of Technology out of Rochester, New York. They're going dancing to the Frozen Four in Detroit.
I remember that day watching the Frozen Four game at RIT, and it's like, okay, and I like, basketball, no, soccer, no, and I get that. It was something new, you know? So hockey was one of them.
After Joe arrived at RIT, he set his sights on joining the hockey program. Although he was unable to play, Joe took the initiative to get involved in any way he could.
Joe sent an email to one of the assistant coaches, I don't even remember who, it was either Brian or Dave, and they forwarded it on to me, so I responded to Joe and told him to come by and meet me.
I was a little nervous. I will admit, I was nervous going in there because I really watched it. Because I love sport, you know, but my number one favorite sport was hockey. And I was like, you know, I can't play it. I gotta do something else because my dad played hockey. He's, you know, junior favorite. And I always want to follow his footsteps, but I couldn't. So this is the only way I can follow his footsteps to be part of RIT men and women's hockey.
Joe's inability to play hockey started at birth when he was born with golden heart syndrome.
I was born prematurely, 35 weeks. I was, you know, my diagnosis was golden heart syndrome, with everything on the left side is affected. Missing one lung, one kidney on the left thumb.
When we pretty much go to a doctor's appointment, we have like a 5-page medical history type of a thing. 28 surgeries up by the time he was 12 years old.
So it's power play here. We practice power play. One fun. Maybe sometimes we need extra jersey.
To me, I just, it's got to be in you. Are you competitive? Are you a competitive person? He wanted to be involved with the team. We said, sure, Joe, you know, well, let's hear, and this is our practice schedule. And it was the same time every day, but he had some classes at that time when he first joined us on certain days. He was able to make it, and sometimes, and then we just, they always seemed to be here when food was being delivered, all the good things, he was always around. So I said, oh, geez, you're part-time Joe, and things are going well, you're around for the wins and all that, but we don't see you other times. And so we just started calling him part-time Joe, and I guess it kind of stuck.
As student equipment manager, Joe's responsibilities include laundry, meal preparation, and equipment inspections. However, one of Joe's favorite tasks is setting up the jerseys before every home game.
I put the jerseys on the order, and then I go around, make sure they're perfect. I do it in a certain way, the way they lay out. I want to try to be perfect, you know, and I say perfect game, you know. That's what I always think that way.
What are you doing this weekend for Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't know yet.
You don't know?
No.
Come over, hang out with the boys if you want.
I would like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Come over on Sunday?
Yeah.
I'm a big Seahawks fan, so you better bring some.
We don't look at Joe as the guy who has a few disabilities. We look at him as just a great, hard-working guy and another one of the boys. And he comes to the rink just like us most days, and he may not be on the ice, but he works just as hard as us off the ice.
Joe's journey has been tough since day one, but perhaps the most difficult news came last year when he was diagnosed with testicular cancer.
I was with him to the doctors when I went to the emergency room that evening, and it was getting late. It was starting to worry me a little bit because here he is, you know, he's tired, we're all tired. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Doctor comes back in and he goes, I hate giving people, you know, this type of news, and you know, nice people like you guys, and I think your son has testicular cancer.
In Joe's case, we had a couple options. One was to do chemotherapy in regards to follow-up. The other one was to do additional surgery for his treatment. Because of Joe's complexities as far as his underlying medical issues, chemotherapy was really not thought to be in his interest. There are some significant toxicities that go along with chemotherapy that could have affected Joe for his entire life, for lifelong. So we really felt that the surgical options were the better ones to proceed with.
Choosing to have surgery over chemotherapy proved to be life-saving later that year, when Joe had to have emergency abdominal surgery.
He was back to school for 10 days. Dr. Scomer had released him, and he was able to go back to school, and I get this phone call on the 12th of March that he's having stomach pains.
Just explain it to me and stuff. But we gotta put you in the operating table, like, soon. Okay, why? You know, like, it was, they said that my whole inside was flipped.
In my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we sent him back to school too soon. Maybe he needed more recovery time. Maybe he pushed himself a little bit too much, not knowing that this didn't have anything to do with the cancer. This was going to happen either 10 years from now, or it could have happened 10 years ago, something that was going to happen regardless. If he would have had the chemo, they wouldn't have been able to do the surgery on him, and he probably would have passed away.
I think he spent 2 weeks in the hospital here in Rochester. And so I would bring guys, a bunch of players left and right, like every day, and try and go see him and just keep his spirits up, because nobody ever wants to go through that.
It was tough. It's definitely tough, especially when, like I mentioned, the family aspect of our team and being brothers. It's tough when you see a guy that you're very close with go through that. We're there to support him. We went on his birthday, and ran a limo, went around, went to the casino. So I think that Joe really appreciated that, and we bonded together and really helped him through it, I think, and we really appreciate all that he does for us.
After missing almost a full season, Joe was excited to get back to RIT hockey. He credits the team's support in his full recovery.
Go, guys.
Go, Joe, fired up.
Yeah, no. Come on.
Go, Joe.
When I came back, the first game, I was ready to go. I said to myself, it's going to be a good season, it's going to be a great season, and for me, it's still a great season. Why? All the guys in this room. Yeah, we have up and down. All the guys in this room, let's just don't care for each other and just a family. That's my #1 win every game.
A lot of pain last year. Went through a lot. And to see him now and to see him back behind the bench, as far as that's his passion and what he loves. As long as he's been with me, Joey has never, ever, ever had a bad word to say about anybody or anything, no matter how bad his life was and what he was going through. Never.
And we all go through difficult days or tough times, where it gets stressed out for different reasons as coaches, as players. It could be anything. And knowing what he goes through and what a positive person he is really inspiration. I mentioned that word already, but that's all I can say is that it's hard to be down when you're around Joe, and not because of always what he's gone through, but just his outlook on life and how every day is for him.
There you go.
Yeah, you ready? I learned a lot from each guy in his room and the coaching staff, Wayne, Hilton, Dave, and Jerv. And it was just for me learning my life the way I wanted to be. Nobody can tell me you can't do it. Because I will say, yes, I can. Nobody can't stop me.